Hey, it's your book hound coming at you with a book review today. If you like what you see here, hit subscribe. We've got great reviews and stuff coming at you every week. Today we're going to talk about Neon Prey by John Sandford. This is the, believe it or not, 29th book in the Prey series by Sandford, featuring the character of Lucas Davenport. If you're not familiar with the series, where have you been? It's been around for years. It's a huge best-selling series. Lucas Davenport is a kind of a manly man. He's a former college hockey player who became a cop and a homicide investigator in Minneapolis. And along the way, he became multimillionaire through designing software for police training. So he's wealthy. He's got Porsches and fancy clothes and a beautiful wife who's a pediatric surgeon. He's got a really fascinating life. He's also a real badass. He's always beating up people and shooting them and getting shot. And he's a great detective. So, it's an exciting series. But like a lot of series like this, it's getting, a lot now, 29 books. And what's happened is that Sanford has that kind of challenge, the same thing that the Harry Bosch series has, which is as the character gets older, he has to sort of change his career. And it's kind of a funny thing because some series, the character's always the same age. Like the Jack Reacher series, like he doesn't really age. He's always kind of the same age. But Lucas Davenport, he started out the first couple of books, he was like a younger homicide detective. Now he's probably about 50, I think, or older. I don't know. But he's evolved. He's gone from the Minneapolis police force to the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, BCA, to now he's with the U.S. Marshals, with a job he got through some kind of like political connections because he knows the governor and the senators, and they kind of slotted him in. And his part of his job is like clean up political messes that involve politicians and stuff. Anyway, so this book opens with a character named Deese, D-E-E-S-E, Deese, who is a very bad guy in New Orleans. He's a hitman, he's a sadist, he's a cannibal, he cooks his victims. I mean, whatever. He's like the worst of the worst of the worst. And he skips on his bail after he's been arrested for beating up someone to collect a debt. And so Davenport and the marshals are called in to find him. And when they get to where Deese originally was, the FBI is there, and there's a big investigation going on because they're digging up dead bodies in Deese's property. So they go off looking for him. And this is what this is a very effective thriller. I mean, it's always fun to read a Lucas Davenport book, but the series has changed, and maybe not for the better. Now that he's with the Marshal Service, his books are basically very, very long chase sequences. They're just looking for somebody. There's not a lot of mystery. There's not a lot of police procedural. It's kind of just looking for somebody. And so they track him down to Los Angeles, where he's with his brother, and they're in a home invasion gang. And there's a long series of like almost catching Deese, and then everything going wrong at the last minute. And Sandford is very good at action. Like you get these elaborately planned and thought through action sequences that are a lot of fun to read. And Davenport is a fun character because he's obviously very smart, and he's always coming up with some insight that no one else has figured out, so they know where to look for the bad guy and stuff. And he's joined by his team, Bob and Ray spelled R-A-E, who is a 6-foot-tall black woman who's beautiful. But I think one thing you have to kind of know just in the background, I think that Sandford likes to play around with character names. Like I think Bob and Ray, it's like a reference to Bob and Ray that was a 1950s comedy team, in the same way that he used to have a character in his books called Del Caps Lock, which is like delete caps lock keys on the keyboard. Um, so it's fun. I mean, I think that Sandford is branching out into new series. Like he's got a series of books now about Virgil Flowers, that fucking Flowers character, who's another investigator who from his earlier books, who now has his own series, and then there's a series of books now about Davenport's adopted daughter Letty, who's becoming like a secret agent or something. And I think this is a good move because I just think that, like with any series, I mean, he's done an amazing job of keeping it alive, but I think after a while, the series starts to run out of gas and the characters become a little familiar, and I got this feeling like pretty soon we're going to be jumping a shark and we're going to be having, Lucas Davenport on Gilligan's Island with the Harlem Globetrotters. I feel like that's coming soon. But anyway, in the meantime, it's a good thriller. It's a fun read. Keeps the pages turning. So if you like John Sandford and like the Prey series, this is one to check out.